And Mark, you mentioned a question came in to you, right, over at...
Yeah, Rob. Interesting call we had this week. It was somebody's emergency, right? So they were unrepresented, selling their house, and right before the closing happened, it stopped, right? It halted. We can't close. Well, why can't we close? Well, because there's an open order of conditions on your property. So they're calling me, our office, our team now, to say, what can we do? How do we fix this? What can we do? We have title insurance. Well, title insurance, as beautiful as it is, wouldn't cover this because this is an administrative item. This is a town thing. So it's like a building permit, if you will. So title insurance would not be something that you could reach out to for that. So what it is, and this happens a lot in the South Shore, is if you're near wetlands, if you're near buffer zones of wetlands, you have to work with your local conservation commission, which is under the umbrella of the Department of Environmental Protection, our state DEP. And that conservation commissioner will let you know if you're too close to the wetlands. And if you are, then you have to go through certain restrictions, or you're not allowed to do certain things, right, to preserve the wetlands, to preserve and conserve the properties and the beautiful wonder that is the South Shore. But what happens is, say you want to put in a pool, you want to put in a pool shed, and you're near that area. Mm-hmm. You have to go in front of the conservation board of your peers. So your local residents, your peers, are at this board deciding for you whether you comply with whatever the regulation is you're asking about. So you get close to that, you have what's called an order of conditions. You can build this so long as you follow these conditions. Mm-hmm. That gets recorded. What happens a lot, Rob, and I encourage anyone who lives near wetlands to check it out. Go to your conservation, see if you have a file open or not, especially if you're getting ready to sell. And we talk about this a lot at the real estate school. When you're preparing a listing, like, this is one of the things you want to do. If you're close to wetlands, go see the conservation, open up the file, take a look at it, see what we're dealing with, if anything. But what happens is this document gets recorded, and what needs to happen, that often doesn't happen, Rob, and I want to shout out our attorney, Laura Adams. Laura is our conservation guru, if you will, our Sherpa for success when it comes to these. What happens is you have to go back and prove out that you did what you said you would do through those orders of conditions. So you go to the first meeting, and they say, sure, build the pool as long as you do X, Y, and Z, but come back, show us that you did it, show us that you built it as built, show us that you built it as you said you were going to, and then we'll sign off and we'll release what's on record. So what happens is this person did what they were supposed to do, but they never went back. So now they have to get an engineer. They have to do that plan, and then they have to go back to that meeting before they can close. So it gets really frustrating and complicated if you're not being proactive.
Okay. But if that person had gone back in the beginning after, it would be okay?
Yeah. So typically what the process is you go in, you obtain your permission, your permit, right?
Yep.
In this case, they record something that you're doing work near or in the wetland area. So it's of record. It's recorded, letting them know. What then happens is when you're done, you have your engineer prove by doing a new plan, an as-built, so it's now as it is, as-built plan. Bring it. There's a site visit. They verify that you did what you were supposed to do, and then they give you a certificate of compliance. So you had the order, and then you receive a certificate of compliance. That gets recorded at the Registry of Deeds and clears, quote, the title, if you will.
And so once that's in, if I sell the property, that person is also covered that buys the home?
All fine.
Okay. All right, so it's,
Certificate
again, following...
of compliance.
Yeah.
Check the box.
Yeah.
Finish the process. And what happened is these folks didn't, and it became an emergency, and we're jumping in, and we're going to do the best we can to help it close on time and do what is necessary to close out that permit. But being proactive, having looked at this, having done the process the way it was supposed to be done the first time, finishing the process, but further going and looking at the file and having the right professionals around you to make sure everything goes well.
All right.
Do it yourselfers. Don't do it. We have professionals for that stuff.
Oh, my. Good advice from Mark Stiles, as always. Stiles Law on Route 139 in Marshfield. And if you do have questions on this topic or any others, Mark, people can reach out to you and your team.
That's right. Phone is usually best. Our concierge will put you in touch with the right person, the right fit, at 781-319-1900. But you can find us on YouTube for a lot of questions just like this at Styles Law, the original. Many, many videos up there. And of course, as I mentioned previously, the real estate school at 892 is open for the fall semester. So if you are a real estate professional or you know somebody, have them reach out on Facebook, The Real Estate School at 892. And we'll have them join our community and we'll rise up together.
Feel Good Friday. Mark Stiles every Friday at this time on WATD. Mark is on Route 139 in Marshfield. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Rob. Have a great week, everybody.